I have a question about the case.
Ms. McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
And I also require the indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds.
Take her down to jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Court is now on the record in City of Conneaut versus Amber McHenry, 24 TRD 819. Ms. McHenry entered no plea to charges of no operator's license and expired plates, each of which is a minor misdemeanor. On December 17th, I scheduled it for a bench trial for January 8th. Ms. McHenry was given notice of that bench trial. I have a signed receipt in the file showing she got notice of that bench trial. Present on January 8th, 2025 was the law director along with a police officer. Ms. McHenry failed to appear. As a result of her failure to appear, I issued a warrant for her arrest. That was January 8th. It's now over a month later, February 11th, and Ms. McHenry is now turning herself in on the warrant. She is in the courtroom, and she is without an attorney. Ms. McHenry, why were you not here on January 8th of 2025?
I have a question about the case.
Ms. McHenry, sit down. This is not your courtroom. Sit in that chair.
I have a question about the case. That's not the case number that I had.
Yes, it is, Ms. McHenry. You've got other cases pending that are set for jury trial.
The original case number that I had was like TDR.
The court calls the case of City versus Amber McHenry, case number 24 TRD 19, into the record. The defendant is facing 2 minor misdemeanor charges, driving without an operator's license and having expired license plates. A bench trial had been scheduled for January 8th, 2025, and the court states that proper notice was delivered and received. When the defendant failed to appear on the scheduled date, a warrant was issued for her arrest. More than a month later, on February 11th, she appears in court without an attorney, and the judge immediately asks why she did not appear for her trial.
Like 0800 something. And
24 TRD 819.
819. Okay. I was just double checking on the case number. Can you repeat your question then? No.
Why were you not here on January 8th?
I put in an appearance, and it was rejected and struck from the record, and I was sent a letter saying that I am not who I said I was. So I have a question about that because I don't understand.
This is not a discussion here. This is not a conversation.
The defendant explains that she had filed an appearance, but it was rejected and removed from the record, and that she later received a letter questioning her identity. She repeatedly asks about the case number and requests that the oaths and bonds of the public officials involved be placed on the record. The judge refuses to turn the hearing into a discussion and repeatedly asks a single question, why she was not physically present in court on January 8th. Instead of directly answering, the defendant continues raising legal objections and requesting documentation, causing the exchange between her and the judge to become increasingly tense.
I ask a question, you respond to my question. Now, this is typical behavior for you because you're a sovereign citizen. At least you claim to be.
I've never claimed that.
Well, your documentation that you filed, including the one you filed today that did not have a correct caption or case number on it, is indicative of that. So let me ask you, Ms. McHenry, again, why were you not physically, personally present in the courtroom on January 8th, 2025 for your trial?
I need the oath and bonds to be put for each person acting as a public official, in this case, who is acting as a public servant, to be put on the record. And I also required...
The situation escalates when the judge orders that the warrant be executed and directs officers to take the defendant into custody. As officers move to arrest her, she demands to know what crime she has committed and claims that the arrest is unlawful. She argues that her constitutional rights are being violated while continuing to protest as she is escorted from the courtroom. Despite her objections, the officers carry out the court's order, and the proceedings continue with the warrant officially being enforced.
The indemnity bond, and I'm going to require the other bonds. Please, for the record, let it be known that you exited.
I did. I exited the courtroom and asked a police officer and probation officer to
Who has the indemnity bond? Where is the bill of particulars?
The bond is
Because I did not receive
being,
it.
the warrant is being executed. You're being taken into custody. Take her down to the jail now.
I was not given the warrant.
Take her down to the jail now.
Why am I being arrested?
Take her down to
For
the jail
what?
now.
What crime have I committed? Get off me. This is kidnapping. This is a false arrest. No, this is a false arrest. This is kidnapping. They're violating my rights, my constitutional rights. I put in.
I thought the Constitution didn't apply to you.
The Constitution applies to every living man and woman.
Yeah.
You are violating your oath, Mr. Iarochi. What did I get arrested for?